Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. Today we have a new topic, and I hope people will share this video. Now today we will have two sessions, which mean after we finish this, later we will have our Pal Talk room open for those who like to join us in Pal Talk. I was watching some videos in YouTube, and as usual, I come through this video, and we have a duty to expose the deception of the Muslims. In this video, as you see, there is a viewer of 226,000, and the video is very short. It's not even 2 minutes. I mean, it's nothing. They speak in this video about the book which is called the Codex, which is a book found written in Greek, and this book simply is a collection of writing about the Bible. It's not the Bible, it is a collection. So there's many books inside. It's like an archive. It's not really, it's an archive more than it is a book. And if you see in the address of this video, it says, word all this Bible confirms the Quran. But if you watch the video, there's nothing there confirm the Quran. Actually, it's the opposite. So we will start with this, speaking about the corruption of the Bible today, and starting with the corruption of the Muslims, even of their own statement, because I never saw Muslim isn't honest. Never, never, ever. And you will never find one. If you found a Muslim isn't honest, it means there's something wrong. It means there's something really, really wrong. I'm not going to play the video because this is CNN and they might flag us for the funny CNN. They will flag you if it's me. If it's a Muslim, they will not flag them. If you go in the video, you will see they are speaking supposedly. All the story is about this book, which is nobody is saying anything really, like had nothing to do with the Quran, and nobody mentioned the Quran. But the Muslims, they love to confuse you. And look at the end, and this is how funny they are and how stupid they are. Actually, they say to you, if you like, they are quoting from CNN that if you want to find this book, this is where you can find it. Now I advise everybody to go and read it, and you will see that this book is not only does not confirm the Quran, it does confirm that the Quran is the book of the devil. Not only they are lying in what they are saying regarding confirming the Quran, they are lying about everything. And that is a perfect example of what Muslims is about. I'm not against anyone try to prove his religion to be true, try to prove that others are wrong. But the problem with Muslims, they try to do that based on deception and lies, and they themselves, they know they are lying. So this is what we will do today. And today I have a good news for the Muslims. I hope Muslims would listen to this video. They will copy my videos, because I'm going to agree with them about what they claim of corruption. And then you will see the Muslims will be so sad and so unhappy because I agree with them. And this will show you how stupid this religion is. And I'm very serious about saying very stupid those people are, because you see, they are working hard to make you agree that your Bible is corrupt, right? Now, if we agree with them, are they going to be happy? The answer, no. They will be so upset. And today we are going to prove this. So welcome everybody. Please invite your friends, tell everybody. Actually, I was trying to start my podcast a little bit earlier, but I have some difficulty in my software. For some reason, Google is not recognizing my software, which usually I use for broadcasting. This is why I was kind of late. So let's see how legitimate what Muslims say when they make a title like this. I mean, are they trustworthy? Can you really believe a Muslim say anything to you? We will show you that this is absolutely false. One of the biggest argument between the Christians and Muslims is the crucifixion of Jesus. And if the crucifixion of Jesus is true, it means all of Islam is false. and the rest really will follow. I mean, like, this is an event. If you prove it, the rest is going to be follow, because Islam deny big deal that Jesus was ever crucified or even being killed or even die in this earth. According to Muslims, as you know, they claim that Jesus, he was left up to heaven without any death, which means he is alive for the last 2,000 years and more. Uh, Now, just to prove in a fast way that when they say that this book, which is written in Greek, which is a collection of many writing and books, it's like an archive, like a Christian study for Christianity, let us say. It's a collection of writing. If this book proved that Jesus is crucified, it's mean this book not only confirm our Bible today, it confirmed that Muslims are a bunch of liars when they say that this book confirm Quran. So what we will do, I will choose just a verse which is written in the New Testament today, and a verse written in that book in more than 1500 years ago. One of the funny things, by the way, the Muslims, they cannot find us something written old about their religion. I mean, the oldest Quran they have is not even from the 6th or 7th century. They don't have an old Quran. Some, they say to you, we have Quran written more than like almost 400 years after Muhammad. This is absolutely lie. There's nobody have such a Quran. And the funny, they try to say to you, uh, do you see the manuscript about the Bible? And the manuscript is a changing, like, there is a manuscript saying this and there it says that, and etc. The fact, the more manuscript we have, the more the Bible get better translation, because the more manuscript we have better understanding of the text and of the language. And remember, the book is written in many languages, not only in Greek, not only in Aramaic, not only in Hebrew. It's written in the Coptic language, in the Aramaic language, and the ancient Aramaic, the old Aramaic, and even the Coptic Egyptian language, and even the Ethiopian, and not to mention that there is an old writing too exist in Persia and exist in faraway countries like India. So do really this book confirm the Quran, or the Muslims will make this such a title? They are fabricating a statement. Obviously, it is a fabrication. Let us go and choose just one verse from this book, and then one book from the New Testament today. So I went to this website, and they have a translation for both versions, both books. I will make the text bigger, and I apologize again. I cannot really zoom much with because I don't have the software, as I said, I use with my usually with my podcast. It's not working. The devil is fighting me. So if you read with me here, you will see that this is the book. The book, they are saying it's confirmed the Quran. But as you see, if you read with me, this is word by word. It's the same as the New Testament today, and it's confirming that Jesus was crucified, and confirming that Jesus resurrected from death. As you see the story in front of you. So how the Abdul dare to say that this book confirmed the Quran? I mean, do you have any kind of dignity? Do you have any kind of honesty? This book confirmed that the Quran is written by a scumbag and a liar. Because one of the most important thing in the Bible is, actually for us as a Christians, is the crucifixion of Jesus. And as you see, this book not only confirming the crucifixion, it confirmed the resurrection. So how a Muslim Abdul, he make a title for his video, and this title saying the following, that word all this Bible confirm the Quran, simply because they are liars and they have no honesty and they have no dignity. Now let us go for the topic of corrupting the Bible. Some Christians, they might be upset from me from what I'm going to say right now. You see, the Muslims, when they say to you the Bible is corrupt, Christians right away they start jumping to prove that the Bible is not corrupt, right? But nobody asks himself, the Muslims are talking about what? What exactly the Muslim is trying to say to you when he say the Bible is corrupt? Just to explain to you, Muslims are not the same as someone he is a Hindu or someone is a Buddha. Muslims are people who believe that their God is the one who sent the Bible, and that will make the problem big for them, bigger than what you can imagine. Like when the Quran says that Jesus was not crucified, and this is mentioned in verse number 4 157. Why even the Quran is speaking about Jesus? Why? Because Jesus supposedly is a prophet for Islam too. From here we need to understand that Islam is supposedly a religion which is not a new religion. It is the same religion we have before as a Christians and as Jews, and just Islam is the new message of Muhammad, who is a messenger from the same God which supposedly we follow. This is how the Muslim they understand their belief, and this is how they understand or their take to Jesus. So Jesus supposedly belonged to them too, not only belong to that to us. Now, before I start here, just to show you some of the roots of the Quran about some issues the Muslims they say, before we talk about the corruption of the Bible. In chapter 4 verse 157, you can read any Muslim translation, which I don't approve anyway, but you know, for the sake of argument we will use it because it's a Muslim translation, so they will not say I'm changing the words. According to the verse in the front of your eyes, the Quran states that Jesus was not crucified, rather he was someone else. He was a clone. Someone else looked like Jesus, appeared to be like Jesus, but this is not Jesus. So Allah cloned someone looked like Jesus, and he made him to be look that Jesus is a crucified, and the Christians made Allah, he made them believe that Jesus was a crucified. Now the story here by itself, by the way, is a proof that our Bible is correct, and I want people to listen to carefully how we can get from the Quran the first proof that our Bible is correct. What the Quran is saying here, let me try to make the text bigger, and again I apologize, I cannot use the software which is usually I use to zoom in. All right, let us do it here. I hope it's going to work. All right. I made it the maximum I can go. So they say we killed the Messiah, Christ Jesus, the son of Mary, who is the one who says supposedly the Jews, but they killed him not, nor crucified him, but it was made to appear to them. Now if you ask a Muslim who is the one who made that appear, he will say to you it was Allah. So please take a note of that. Allah, he made Jesus appear to be in the cross, that and he was crucified. And that's really amazing story, because the story here proved to us that Allah is a deceiver, and he deceived not only the Jews, he deceived even the followers of Jesus. He deceived everybody, made him believe that Jesus was on the cross when he was not. And this is mean when I say that when I call my book The Deception of Allah, that's a perfect, you know, description for Allah, because here we go, even the crucifixion, it was a deception. Allah could not save Jesus without deceiving the Christians and the Jews. And based on this, by the way, as long it was Allah who made us see someone look like Jesus on the cross, which means Allah, he cloned someone look exactly like Jesus. He have the same face of Jesus, the same eyes of Jesus, the same voice of Jesus, and even the mother of Jesus could not recognize that this is not Jesus. That's mean what's our fault if we believe that this is what Jesus? What is the fault of the Christians if they believe that Jesus was on the cross, if Allah, the deceiver, he made someone look like Jesus on the cross? So the stupid religion of Islam, Allah will judge us for believing that Jesus was a crucified, when Allah is the one who deceive us and make us believe that Jesus was a crucified. I mean, do you see how stupid this logic is? Allah is going to send you to hellfire, you Christians, because he made you believe that someone looked like Jesus on the cross. But Allah was playing a game. It was not a true Jesus. So he put Jesus in the cross, but it was not Jesus. So you saw Jesus, but it was not Jesus, and then you believe it Jesus, but it was not Jesus, and then you wrote in your book that Jesus was a crucified, but the fact Jesus was not crucified, it was Allah playing games with you. And this is how stupid Islam is. But the important about this story here for us, this story confirmed the Bible. Why? Because if the Quran itself witness that we witness a crucifixion of someone look exactly like Jesus, the witness should write down what he saw and what he believed. Are you guys getting my point? If I was a witness in the front of the cross and I saw Jesus in the cross, and now I am Luke, I am Mark, I am John, I am whoever I am one of those who witnessed Jesus' story. Even if I'm not a Christian, let us say I'm a historian, I'm going to write a book about what happened. And then I wrote in my book that I saw Jesus the Christ was crucified in the day of etc. Should I write what I saw, or I should write something else? The true witness, my friend, is the one who write down what he saw, and the Quran witnessed to us that this is what we saw, which means the true story is what is written in the Bible. The game story, which is supposedly Allah is cloning someone, is what is written in the Quran. So look how stupid the Quran is. The Quran confirming that your story in the New Testament is absolutely true, and you witnessed the crucifixion of Jesus, and Allah, He made you believe that it was Jesus. But in fact, the Quran saying to us after 600 years, I was playing games with you, it was not Jesus. I mean, this is really stupid. This is really stupid. One of the funny ideas when the Muslim they say to you, you change your Bible. Will you change your Jesus, you idiot Muslims? You accuse us of changing the Bible. You change the whole of Jesus. Here we go. Your God Allah, He replaced Jesus. He put someone else look like Jesus in the cross. And then you are coming to me talking about me changing the Bible. You can't change Jesus, replace Jesus, and clone Jesus, and then you have no problem with that. So the story in the Quran here confirm what the Bible is written is true, because this is what we saw. And Allah here, supposedly Allah is talking, remember, Allah is saying that He made it appear to us that Jesus was in the cross. So when we witness that yes, Jesus crucified, we are not lying. And I hope the Muslim understand how stupid the Quran is when he made this statement. And then Allah, He waited 600 years to send us another messenger who never been a witness, to say to us Jesus never been crucified. Now the Muslim, they ask you, how many manuscripts you have for the Bible to prove the Bible? But the fact they don't have even one manuscript for the Bible they claim. Like, isn't it funny? They are asking you, we have tens of thousands of proofs about the crucifixion of Jesus and what Jesus did, etc., and we have thousands of manuscripts, and yet they don't believe all of this. And then they believe someone who came 600 years after Jesus. He don't even have one manuscript of anything. I mean, everything in the Quran. Do Muhammad have a manuscript for it from the people before him? No, never, nothing. Still the Muslim believe him. So you have thousands of manuscripts about Jesus is a problem for them. Still they will not believe you. But Muhammad, who have zero manuscript, he has zero proof, they believe him, and nobody asked him for any manuscript. Like, did any Muslim ask Muhammad in the time of Muhammad, what is your proof that Jesus wasn't crucified? Do you have any proof? Like, you were a witness? How you get this information? You were not in the time of Jesus. You are not one of the apostles of Jesus. So where do you get this idea that Jesus wasn't crucified? There is, what Muhammad he learned. If you remember, before we spoke about the Nasara. The Nasara, are a group of people who believe that Jesus is the Son of God. They believe in his crucifixion, but their own books, which is not approved by us as a Christians. As an example, there is uh, I think the book is called Apocalypse of Peter. Chapter 81. If you read chapter 81, sorry, chapter. Hold on. I think it's 81 because they have different numbers. 81 from 4 to 24, and in that book it says what it's mean. That's the one he's speaking about, Jesus at the cross. Like, is that really Jesus or an appearance? So it's like, somebody is making a poetry about Jesus. Like, I cannot believe that this is the glorified Jesus is in the cross right now. So the Muhammad, he took it in a literate way, that this was an appearance of Jesus. This is not Jesus. And from that story, he made a story of it, that this was the appearance of Jesus, but it was not the real Jesus. Now I will try to find you the text, which is I'm trying to say to you. Let us see. I will look for it because I don't want to quote from memory. Here we go. Let us see in this book here. I saw a book have some collection of it. Let's see if I can put it in the screen. Let us see if I can do it here. All right. I don't know if the text is going to be clear for you guys, but I hope so. If you see here with me, let me zoom in. All right. So simply, what this book, which is not accepted by us as Christians, is not saying that Jesus was not crucified. It's supposedly, in the book of Peter, he is saying, let us say, he is doing a meditation about Jesus in the cross, and he's speaking about Jesus. All right, and he described how Jesus is in the cross, and he says he appeared to suffer. All right, he appeared to suffer. Look what it says. I saw him apparently being seized by them, and I said, what do I see? O Lord, is it yourself whom they take? Are you holding on to me? Who is this one above the cross? Who is the glad and laughing? And is it other person whose feet and hands they are hammering? So from this statement here, Muhammad, he took this story and he make it as this is was someone else appear. And Peter is a question, is that Jesus himself? Or this is someone look like Jesus, exactly like Jesus? But what the story here is saying, it's like it's like a meditation. It's like saying, oh, like this is the Lord himself, the Lord that we worship. He is right now in the cross. Like, is it him or is someone else? They are this is not really about questioning who is in the cross. This is something metaphorical about the suffering of Jesus. Is that the God, the glorious himself, or this is the body, the flesh, which is Jesus hold only? So Muhammad, from this statement, he made a statement, make it in the Quran, but look stupid in the Quran, because in the Quran confirm our gospel to be true. In the Quran he made it in different way. In the Quran he made it like Allah is the one who made Jesus appear to be in the cross. But this is where he bases his story from. It's coming from this statement, but this statement never say that Jesus wasn't crucified. And actually, if you read the whole chapter, you will see it says clearly that Jesus was crucified, even in this book, which we don't accept. So this is where Muhammad he got his fabricated story. I'm just trying to share with you the roots. Now we go to the Quran and let us inspire, inspire the Muslims with some ideas about how to prove that our what they claim to be our book is corrupt. I'm going to help the Muslims. All right, seriously, I want to help the Muslims. Listen, Muslims, from now on, I want to ask every Christian, if a Muslim he asks you, is it true that the Bible is corrupt? You as a Christian, you have a duty to say, yes, the Bible of Allah is corrupt. Because remember, when the Muslims speak about the Bible, they are not talking about your Bible, they are talking about the Bible which is sent by Allah. All right, Allah he sent the Bible. As you see, the whole Quran is speaking about such a thing. Chapter 3 verse number 3, Allah he sent down the book confirming what is between your hand, and he sent the Torah and the Injil. So who is the one who sent the Torah and the Injil? It is Allah. So when a Muslim he says to you the Torah is corrupt and the Injil, the gospel is corrupt, you say to him, well, you are talking about the Torah and the gospel of Allah. We have no problem with that. Yes, it's corrupt, because none of us believe anyway that the Torah or the gospel was sent by Allah anyway. So obviously the Muslims are talking about different book. They are not talking about my book. My book have nothing to do with Allah, have nothing to do with Muhammad, and have to do nothing to do with the religion of Islam. So when a Muslim speak about that, you are talking about who exactly? Can you explain to me, like, who is the one? What Torah you are talking about? What is that Torah? Where do you get this Torah from? So obviously the Torah we are talking about is not our Torah, because this is a book is sent by Allah, and the gospel we are talking about here in this Quran is not our gospel, because this is a book sent by Allah, and we don't believe in such a book. We never heard of this Allah. So when a Muslim he says to you that the book of the Torah and the gospel is corrupt, he's talking about a book sent by his God. So what's my problem? You as a Christian, you should say, yes, the book of your God is corrupt. And now we will have a really a big problem. The problem is, why Allah he allowed all his book to be corrupt, and he decided not to allow to corrupt the Quran. Remember, as long all those books are his books. So what is the difference between the Torah and the gospel and the Quran? Why Allah don't want to protect the Torah and the gospel the same he want to protect the Quran? Is Allah being selective to his own words? Is the words of Allah is better than his words? Isn't it stupid that this God he sent his book? And especially you guys, the Muslim believe that Allah he decide our act. He believe in destiny. They believe like everything we do is written before we do it, which means even the corruption of the Torah is a decision made by Allah. So if we ask the Muslim a very simple question, was the Torah and the gospel corrupted by Allah will or against his will? And I want this question to be memorized and remembered by every Christian. The second they say to you that the gospel is corrupt, you should ask them, was the gospel corrupt by the will of Allah or against his will? If they say by his will, for sure, it's mean, what's our problem? This is your God, Allah the devil, he is the one who corrupted. If they say against his will, that's mean Allah he have no ability to protect the Torah or the gospel anyway, and he is a fake God. Nobody can corrupt the word of God unless God he approve it, or he don't approve it, but still they can do it. So which one? So is it by Allah will or against his will? For sure the Muslims, they will be in trouble when you ask them this question. Now the other issue here, as long the Torah and the Gospel are sent by Allah, and all the books of Allah, as we will show you here, Allah, He said, nobody can exchange His words. In chapter 5 verse number 34, it says, no one can replace or change the word of Allah. In chapter 6 verse 115, it says nobody can change the word of Allah. In chapter 18 verse number 27, it says nobody can change the words of Allah. And if the Torah and the Gospel are part of His words, then how you can say that the word of Allah is changed? Especially when you read the chapter 6 verse number 34. In this chapter we have a problem. Speaking about rejected were the messengers before thee. So it's mentioning here the messengers before thee. Who are the messengers before thee according to the Quran? Isa and Musa. Isa supposed to mean Jesus. And it says, with patience and constancy they pour their rejection, they were their wrongs until our aid did reach them. There's none can alter the words of Allah. Remember, he is speaking about the messengers before Muhammad, not Muhammad yet, because Muhammad, he don't have a book yet. No one can change the words of Allah. He mentioned the messengers before him, before Muhammad, and he mentioned that nobody can alter the words of Allah. It doesn't say the Quran, it never mentioned the Quran. It says the words of Allah in general. But yet the Muslims, they say to us that the word of Allah is changed. So that will be a problem again. However, Allah, He sent 124,000 messenger, and all the books of that 124,000 messengers are lost except one book. It's called the Quran, which mean make Allah the biggest loser ever. Imagine you give Allah $124,000 and He came back to you and He say, I saved one. Obviously Allah is not good in business, and you cannot trust Him for any money more than $1 at the maximum. 124,000 prophet, where are they? Who their names we do not know. What their books we do not know. Where are they? The books are gone. Everything is gone. And that make Islam very stupid religion again. Now just to mention to you, somebody before asked me where those 124,000 prophet coming from. The story is coming from this, that Allah, before He created Adam, He created Muhammad. Muhammad was created before Adam, and Allah, He sent Muhammad in a ship, and in this ship he sweat 124,000 drop of sweat. From every sweat Allah created a prophet. So even Moses and Isa, or Jesus as they call him, Isa, even those are created, God forbid me forgive me for saying that, are created from the drop of the dirt of Muhammad. Muhammad, he sweat, Allah make from every sweat, every drop of a sweat, He make a prophet. Now if we go and check more verses in the Quran, the Quran have tons of verses saying clearly that the Bible is confirmed by Muhammad. In chapter 2 verse number 41, and believe in what which I reveal, confirming that which you possess already. What they possess already? The scriptures. All right. You possess. The Quran is speaking about a book they possess already, not in the past. And he is confirming which you possess. So when the Bible was corrupt, you see how stupid this book is? Actually, in the whole Quran, it doesn't say really anywhere that the Bible is corrupt. It's speaking about a change in the location of words. And how this happened, if you remember the story where Muhammad, he asked the Jews, they asked him, what about a woman, she commit adultery, what we would do? He told them, you know that in your book there is a punishment of stoning to death. And supposedly one of the Jews, he put his fingers over the line where it says stoning to death. So this is what the Quran speak of, that they are changing the location of the words, which means they are hiding them. As you see here in chapter 4 verse number 46. So they changed the location of the words of its places, as you see, but doesn't say anywhere that they added words or they took words. And if you go and read the book, it's called Asbab al-Nuzul, or the reasons for those verses to come, you will see it's about a guy who put his hand in the top of the Torah to hide a verse, which means the verse is there and they did not even change location, but they placed their hands in the top of it to hide it. That's the whole story. All right. So the Quran confirmed. There's tons of verses as you see here. Let me show you how many verses is speaking about confirming the Bible. This is another one. Chapter 2 verse number 91. Again, Muhammad is confirming what is already with them, what they possess right now. How you can confirm something is corrupt? That would be stupid to do so, right? So Muhammad again is confirming what they possess with them. And one of the funny things about the Quran, by the way, Muhammad, he said to them, why then slew ye the prophets of Allah? What? If you are indeed a believer. Here I have a question for the Muslims. How come the Quran failed to tell us one prophet was killed by the Jews, and who is the one was killed by the Jew? Listen carefully, Muslims. Your Quran confirmed that there's prophets being killed by the Jews. Name one. You know, the God of Islam, he have time to tell me about an ant speaking to the ant, and Sulaiman is listening. He have the time to tell me about Sulaiman flying carpet. He have time to tell me about Sulaiman his chair. He have the time to tell me about Sulaiman he died standing, was dead for 1 year. He have time to tell me that Sulaiman he have a sexual power. He have time to tell me about Sulaiman he go to look for a woman, she have no hair in her legs. He have time to tell me about Sulaiman checking the chickens looking for his bird. He have all the time to tell me all stupid stories, but he don't have time to tell me one prophet the Jews killed. I mean, what is more important? To tell me about a bird who work as a minister of irrigation during daytime and part-time as dating advisor, or the guy who work as a pimp who go and look for women who have no hair in their legs for the king. Shouldn't Allah mention to us who is the Jewish prophet was killed by the Jews? The Muslim, they might say to you, well, don't you know about John the Baptist? Hold on. Even that one was not killed by the Jews. Are you stupid? The king who slaughtered John the Baptist, he tried to consider himself like the Jews, but he is not. He is a Roman ruler. He have nothing to do with the Jews. Name for me one prophet was killed by the Jews. They cannot. They have it in their book, but as usual, the Quran is a book of yellow pages, have the number only, nothing rest. There's nothing like, yellow pages. They put for you a headline, that the address, name, person, phone number. That's it. Actually, there's no address. I think just a phone number. Who is the one who was killed by the Jews? They have no idea. We continue. As long, you see all those verses, by the way, all those verses, it says that confirming what is between their hands, what is with you, what what with them. It's amazing. Like, it's still the Muslim, he will say to you that the Bible is corrupt. And again, I have no problem with the Muslim saying the Bible is corrupt, because he's talking about the Bible of Allah. Therefore, I agree with you that your God Allah himself is corrupt, so why his books will not be corrupt anyway? And this is additional reason for me not to trust Islam and not to believe in this God. Because if Allah always send books and his books are corrupt, what is the proof that the Quran is not one of the previous corrupted books? As an example, who is the one who will protect the Quran from being corrupted? The Muslim will say Allah. Hold on. Look what the Quran says. The Quran says, Inna alayna jam'uhu wa Qur'anuhu, in chapter 75, verse number 17. What does that mean? Allah saying, it is on us to collect the Quran and on us to recite the Quran. And Allah did not recite the Quran and did not collect the Quran, which means neither of them happened. The one the Muslims they have right now is not even the Quran of Muhammad, is the book of Uthman. And all of us, we knew the story of Uthman burning all the other Quran. Why he burned all the other Quran? Because simply they are different. So there was many Quran, and Uthman, because he's the king, he decided that this is the Quran I want, my Quran is the one will go. And the rest of the Quran, they are different. And by the way, there's many of them still exist. Mus'haf Uthman became the most popular because of Saudi Arabia. They approve it and they have the money and they print it for free. Otherwise, there is many other Quran exist still until now, and they are totally different. So who is the one who should collect the Quran according to the Quran? It's Allah. Did Allah collect the Quran? Never. Did Allah send the book to Muhammad? No. Remember, the Quran speak that Allah sent to Moses the whole Torah. You see that in the Bible we speak about that Moses was given the tablet, right? But the Quran does not speak of the tablet as we believe in it. The tablet, we know it have only the commandment of God, the 10 commandment. According to the Muslims, Allah did not give Moses the 10 commandment in the tablet only. He gave them the whole Torah, the whole Torah. And if Allah he gave Moses the whole Torah and all of it written in a rock, in a stone or stones, how come Allah he wrote those words or this book, the Torah, to Moses in the tablet, yet this tablet is destroyed? Like, I mean, how the Jews they can corrupt that book? What the purpose of Allah is writing it in a tablet if he is not going to preserve the Torah? And why Allah did not do the same with Muhammad? Someone might say to me, why God did not do the same with Jesus? Jesus, he supposed to, for a very simple reason. We believe that Jesus is our Lord, God in the flesh is between us. Moses is a messenger. So Jesus, when he speak of himself. He is the word. He do not need to give his word to a messenger and write it for him. He himself is the word. So for us, Jesus is the walking, talking word of God. The walking, talking, living word of God in earth. He is the word himself. And the word became a flesh. So when Allah he gave Moses those tablets, and Moses he got them written in rocks to preserve them supposedly, and then Allah he says to us the Torah was corrupt. So what the purpose was of writing those on rocks? Obviously, according to the Quran, Allah trying to preserve the Torah, right? If you go in the Quran, let me find you the in chapter 53 verse number 36, and chapter 87 verse number 19. You know, actually even in chapter 87 verse number 19, Allah claim in the Quran supposedly that not only Moses have tablets, it's even Ibrahim. So what happened to the books of Abraham and the books of Moses? I want a Muslim to tell me one verse of the book of Abraham. What is the name of the book of Abraham? Any Muslim can tell us. So how we know that even Abraham was exist if we can delete all his books? Do you see the guys the madness we are talking about? Abraham, he have books. Anyone heard of such a thing? Since when? Can the Muslim tell me what the books of Abraham? What the name of the book of Abraham? The Quran names all the books. As an example, name the book of David, name the book of Moses, name the book of Jesus, but yet the book of Abraham have no name. And you will see another funny stupid thing in the Quran. It says, and this is in the books of the earliest revelation. Where are those books? How you can mention that this is exist in the earliest books if we cannot find the books? Are you guys following me? Isn't it stupid? How we can speak about earlier books if you are denying their existence? So when the Quran mentioned the earliest books, saying this is found in the earliest books, and the revelation of Abraham and Moses, is that because he confirming books exist before him on those verse, or those books are gone? So what the point of saying they are exist there? What the proof? It's going to be very stupid to say this is exist in the earliest books when there is no books. I'm talking about the Quran. So when we say the book of Abraham, can the Muslim tell me what the book of Abraham? I read the whole Quran. I never heard of something is called the book of Abraham. There is no such a thing. There is books reported about Abraham, There's books speaking of Abraham, but Abraham who wrote the book, I want to know the name of the book and when Abraham wrote his book and what language. Can the Muslim even tell me in which language Abraham, when he spoke and he wrote his book, what language he used? Don't tell me it was Arabic. Another issue with Abraham, let us see. I'm trying just to collect, like some ideas to arm you with answers. Look at this verse with me. Chapter 3, verse number 65. Chapter 3, verse number 65. Just to show you that the one who wrote the Quran is officially stupid. Allah speaking to the people of the book, and the people of the book is the Jews and the Christians. Look what he says to them. For sure Allah, he says that supposedly to Muhammad, and Muhammad, he says that to us. Ye people of the book, why dispute ye about Abraham when the law and the gospel were not revealed till after him? Have you no understanding? I mean, seriously, the one who wrote this verse, from where he got his degree? I will give you three options. He got his degree from the stupid U-Haul, or from Taliban University, or from the University of I have no idea. Because if we imply this logic on what we are talking about, we will see that Islam is the last one who can complain about Abraham or can dispute about Abraham. Why? Because Allah saying, why you dispute about Abraham when you came after Abraham? Like, aren't you Muslims are the last one to come? If you are saying the one who came after Abraham have no right to dispute about Abraham, but you are the last one. Guys, are you getting my point? Imagine you are 60 years old. Abraham is 100 years old. I am 20. And then I say to you, you are 60. Why you are debating me about Abraham and you are born after Abraham? But I am 20 years. I'm the last one. Are you getting my point? How stupid this religion is? Their argument is, don't debate us about Abraham because you came after Abraham. But the Muslims, they are the last one who came. You know, this is can work if Muhammad was before Moses, and that means he was before Jesus too. And the Muslim says to us, why you are debating us about Abraham when we know Abraham more than you, because we are more close to Abraham by date, which means we know him more than you. This is the argument. You came after Abraham, so you cannot debate about Abraham. But the Muslims came long after Abraham, after all of them, after the Jews, after the Christians. And their logic that you don't have the right to debate about Abraham because you came after Abraham. This is how stupid this religion is. Now we continue. So let us agree as a Christians, when a Muslim he speak about the gospel, he's talking about the gospel of Allah and the Torah of Allah, and then right away you want to spank him in his face, just tell him yes, the Torah of Allah is corrupt, and you will see how his face will turn red and blue and green, because he's not expecting that to say to you, to him. He might say, no, 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 I'm talking about your gospel. I said, Abdul, listen, what do you mean my gospel? I don't have a gospel. Actually, we don't have a gospel. We don't. The book is the book of God. No, the book does not belong to us. The book belongs to the author, not to the follower. So when you say the gospel is made by Allah, you are accusing Allah, your God, Muslims, that He is the one who could not protect His book, and you are accusing the book of Allah to be corrupt. And as long as this is the story, so what's my problem? Go and debate your God, the stupid God who sent His books, but He cannot protect the books. I have no problem with this argument. The books of Allah keep being corrupt. Very clear proof that Allah is a fake God. If Allah is a true God, He should protect His gospel. If Allah is a true God, should protect the book of Abraham, as you see in the front of your eyes. Allah is saying that Abraham have a book, but yet the Quran failed to name it. I never heard anywhere in the Quran any name of a name is called the book of Abraham, but yet they claim that there's a book is called the book of Abraham. So Abraham, he sent books. He have books. All the messengers, they have books, yet Allah, and all those books are books of Allah, but yet Allah cannot protect any of His books. Now, was Allah protecting even the Quran? Absolutely not. If we go to the hadith, actually before we go to the hadith, look at this hadith here, where Muhammad, he take an oath on the Torah. And this is what I said, that the Jews, one of the Jews, he put his hand in the top of the Torah trying to hide it. One of the companions of Muhammad, he said to them, move your hand, and he saw the verse, and he said to him, you know what, why you are hiding it? So Muhammad, he said to them, bring me the Torah. As you see in the front of your eyes, bring me the Torah. So the Jews, they brought him the Torah. Muhammad, he put the Torah in the cushion, and he put his hand over the Torah, and he took an oath saying, I swear by thee, or let us say he taken an oath saying, I believe in thee and the one who sent thee. As you see here, I believe in thee and the one who sent thee. So not only the Quran have tons of verses confirming that the Torah and the gospel in the time of Muhammad is absolutely correct, even Muhammad is taking an oath on the Torah saying, I believe in thee and the one who sent thee. Now, was Muhammad swearing by the corrupt Torah? If yes, that means Muhammad is a scumbag. For the one who swear by a false book, he's a false prophet. If this book is corrupt, how dare Muhammad to swear by it, saying, I believe in thee? I believe in you, all of you. I believe in thee. Do you see it? In Arabic, he says, ثم قال ائتوني بالتوراة فأتي بها فنزع الوساد من تحته فوضع التوراة عليها ثم قال آمنت بك وبمن أنزلك. Bring the Torah for me. So he took the Torah and he took the pillow, and he put the Torah in the pillow, which means he's showing too much respect to the Torah. He's trying to be hypocrite to the Jews. And he put his hand on the Torah and he says, I believe in thee and the one who sent thee. If you ask yourself here a very simple question, why Muhammad even taken an oath in this? You don't have to. Nobody's asking him to do so. Do you see in the story anyone is asking Muhammad to take oath? No. Muhammad voluntarily, he is taking an oath in the Torah. I challenge the Muslim to tell me why. Voluntarily. No Jews asked him. No rabbi told him. It's not requested. There's no reason. He said, bring me the Torah. He put it in the pillow. He put his, and he says, I believe in thee and the one who sent thee. What was the purpose? I will tell you. Muhammad is being a hypocrite to the Jews. He was trying to convince them that he's a Jew like them. This is why Muhammad, when he practiced Ashura, he asked the Jews, "Where you get this? What this? Why you are fasting today? Like why it's uh, uh, why you are celebrating this day? Hold on. Why you are celebrating today?" They said this is the day where Moses was saved from the Pharaoh, and he decided to fast the day of Ashura. Since then, he asked the Jews, "Why you are fasting this day?" They said this is the day where Moses and our nation they are saved from the Pharaoh. They crossed the sea. So Muhammad decided to fast it until Ramadan came, and he stopped fasting on Ashura. And not only this, he said that Ashura, the one who fasts Ashura, if you fast this day, Allah forgive all the sin of the previous year. And then suddenly Ashura is not important, and Muhammad decided not to fast Ashura no more. Why? Because simply he was trying to be a Jew, and the Jews did not accept him, so he gave up, and he will not. He did not need it no more. The Jews are not going to accept him anyway. Look what it says. The one who fast Ashura, if he fast Ashura, it is going to delete all his sin for the previous year, just one day. So how come this day became not important in Islam now? How come it was a day will forgive all your sin for the previous year? Suddenly this day became nothing because Muhammad he failed to make the Jews believe in him. This is why Muhammad he said, if 10 of the Jews only, if 10 of the Jews only believe in me, the rest of the Jews will believe in me, which means Muhammad he failed to make 10 Jews believe in him. And this was the target. He worked hard trying to convince the Jews that he is not against them. He is, he is a believer. He is, he believe in the Torah. This is why he is taking oath in the Torah, as you saw in the screen. Uh, so, he did everything he can do. Still, the Jews don't accept him. He don't match anything about prophecy and to be a prophet. As you see here, the hadith is so clear. The prophet said, had only 10 Jews, and you will see here it says amongst their chiefs. This is false. The hadith doesn't say that. The prophet said, had only 10 Jews believed me, all the Jews would definitely have believed me. That is proof that how much Muhammad he failed to convince the Jews. If only he can make 10 Jews believe, but he could not. The mission was impossible. Now, one of the reasons the mission was impossible for Muhammad to convince the Jews, not only he is not from the children of Israel, he didn't fit even with his own Quran. Let us see. Uh, the people they keep asking Muhammad for a miracle. as you see here in chapter 2, as an example, chapter 2, verse 118. There's tons of verses, by the way. And Muhammad is still, he cannot make one miracle. They keep saying to him, at least like give us one miracle, you know, like Moses have miracles, Jesus have miracles, all a prophet uh, have miracles, except you, Muhammad. Why? And Muhammad, he said to them, you know what? Well, Allah, he gave miracles for previous prophets before me, and he still, you don't, people don't believe in it. What? Who said so? The Jews, they believe all the miracles of Moses, and all the miracles happen for other prophets too. And even the Jews who became Christians, they believe in the miracles of Jesus, because remember, all the apostles of Jesus, they were Jews. They are not anything except Jews. They are Jews. They are pure Jews. So yes, they believe in the miracles. And Muhammad still, he cannot make one miracle happen. And all what they are asking him for, you know what, you want us to believe in you, what about just make one miracle? And as you see all those verses in the Quran, chapter 2, verse 145, Allah is saying, you know what, if you make all the miracles in the world for the Christian and the Jews, they won't believe in you. But this is false. This is proof the Quran to be false. Aren't the Muslims saying today that there's people convert to Islam and they are Christians? Aren't the Muslims, they say there is somebody who was a Jew and he converted to Islam even in the time of Muhammad? So what do you mean if you make all the miracles to the Christian and the Jews, still they will not believe? This is again a false prophecy, because Muhammad, he gave up in the Jews and the Christian, they will not believe in him. But right now in the West, you will find someone, he convert to Islam. So this is a false prophecy, because he's saying those people will never believe in you. Then the Jews, they ask him to do something which is supposedly written in the Quran, as we see in this verse. Muhammad in chapter 3 verse 183 confirm that Allah, he told the Jews the following, and please read with me. They also said, Allah took our promise not to believe in any messenger unless he showed us a sacrifice consumed by fire from heaven. So Allah told the Jews, don't believe anyone. He claimed to be a prophet unless he sacrifice, and Allah will send a fire is going to eat his sacrifice. Look what Muhammad said to them. Say, there come to you messengers before me with a clear sign and even what you ask for. Why then did you slay them if you speak the truth? So the sign they asked for, it was true. Allah, he gave that sign. Muhammad is confirming that this has really happened. God confirmed to the Jews a prophet of God to be a prophet by making such a miracle when they asked for it. He sacrificed and God sent fire, consumed that sacrifice. Muhammad, because he have no miracle and he cannot do that, he said to them, well, a messenger came before me and they gave such a sign you are asking for, but still you don't believe in them. Who? Like who? Who is the messenger? You Muslims, can you name for me the messenger? They did not believe in him and he sacrificed and God consumed his sacrifice. Who? Name him. obviously Muhammad again, he failed. He failed to do the miracle which they are asking for. The Jews are not rejecting Muhammad for no reason. They are rejecting him. You know, they are asking him, how come you cannot do what other prophets do? And if you remember in the Quran itself, the story is in Islam, the story of the children of Adam's, when the two children, according to Islam, they are fighting over their beautiful sister. According to Islam, the children of Adam, Cain and Abel, they were fighting over sisters. Each one of them, he have a twin sister, and both of them, they want to marry the beautiful one. There's one, she have a cross eyes, with my respect to everybody. According to Islam, it's very stupid story. She have a cross eyes, she is ugly, whatever, and one is beautiful. Both of them, they want to marry her. So Allah, he told them, he told Adam, tell your children to give sacrifice, and the one who I accept his sacrifice, he will be the one who marry the beautiful girl. As you see in this verse in the front of your eyes, chapter 5, verse number 27. Recite to them the truth of the story of the two sons of Adam. Behold, each presented this a sacrifice. Each of them presented a sacrifice. What happened? When they presented the sacrifice, one of them, he presented a vegetarian sacrifice, and the other one, he presented a sheep. Allah, he sent a fire, consumed the sheep, and rejected the vegetarian one. Which means Allah, since the beginning of the time of Islam, he show the sign of approving something by sending a fire to consume the sacrifice. So when the Jews, they say to Muhammad, as we showed you, well, you know what, Allah told us not to approve any prophet unless he make a sacrifice, and his God, he send a fire to consume the sacrifice. And let me show you the story again, so Muslims will not say we are making things from our own. This is the interpretation of a Jalalain. Let us make the text big so you guys can see it better. I hope it's clear now. This is a Jalalain, and this is the official government website of the Kingdom of Jordan. And recite, O Muhammad, to them, your people, the story of and the tale of the two sons of Adam, Abel and Cain, truthfully, bilhaq, which mean by the truth. Here, then he continue. How they each offer a sacrifice to God, which in Abel's case was a ram, and in the case of Cain, some green crops. It was accepted from them, one of them, namely Abel, when a fire came down from heaven and consumed his offering. Do you see it? According to Islam, according to the Quran, if Allah want to approve a person, he asks him to do this. He make him sacrifice, and then if he send the fire to consume that sacrifice, that's mean you are approved. If Allah did not send the fire to consume the sacrifice, you are not approved. The same story happened with Abraham. The same story happened with Abraham. According to the Quran and according to Islam, Allah he asked Abraham to sacrifice his son Ishmael, not Isaac. In the Bible, it is Isaac. In the Quran, they change, they make it Ishmael, no problem. And then Allah he sent a big sheep, and this sheep was Allah he called it dhabhun azim, which means a great sacrifice. And then Allah uh, he told Abraham, well, you know what, don't worry about sacrificing your son. I'm going to give sacrifice of my own. It's going to be great ram. Let us see. This is the story here in chapter 37, start from verse 102. All right, where supposedly Abraham he saw a dream, a vision from God, and you know, he decided to do what the vision is saying, and then Allah he sent down a sacrifice. All right, as you see here. All right, and then Allah he said to him, I am going to send our ransom, your son, with a great sacrifice. And this is in chapter 37, verse number 107. And that sacrifice was consumed again by a fire sent by Allah to approve the behavior of Abraham, which means, according to the Quran, this behavior was always the behavior of Allah. He always sent the fire to consume. It happened more than once. It was the way for Allah to show his acceptance for a person or a behavior of a person. So when the Jews, they say to Muhammad, how come you cannot do that? According to the Quran, the Jews have a problem, and the problem is Muhammad, he cannot fulfill his own statement of his own book stories. He come to us with a story saying that yes, the children of Adam, they have the same problem, and Allah he accepted their sacrifice by sending a fire to consume it. Abraham he have a sacrifice, and the same story happened again. But Muhammad, he cannot bring any sacrifice, and his God will not do what he did before. So the question here, how come this God will make such a sign for a stupid reason? Like, as an example, if you think of the story of Adam and his children, isn't it stupid that the God, he will do such a, I'm talking about the idea, he will send such a miracle to send the fire to consume the sacrifice just to solve a problem about two guys fighting over a girl, and Allah yet will not send the same miracle to confirm that Muhammad is a prophet? Don't you think that this story is weird? I mean, where is the logic? Obviously, there's no logic here. The story does not make sense, and Muhammad is not qualified to be a prophet. Now we continue about the corruption of the Allah Bible and the corruption of the Quran. As long we agreed with Muslims that the corruption of Allah Bible is corrupt and the Torah of Allah is corrupt, so what about the Quran? Was the Quran corrupt too? Let us see that. If we go to the hadith, if you remember before we mentioned uh, that when Muhammad was in the bed of death, a goat or a sheep came inside and ate the Quran. As you see with me. And this is not da'if. This hadith is not da'if. So for those who want to play games of da'if and strong, you know them. Aisha, she said, the verse of stoning and breastfeeding for an adult 10 times was revealed. And the paper was with me under my pillow. When the messenger of Allah died, we were preoccupied with his death. And a tame sheep came and ate it. What happened? What happened, my friend, here, the Muslims confirmed to us in their books that there is a holy goat ate the Quran. And yet they are chasing you to prove to you that your book is corrupt. And they chase you and they say to you that Allah, He protect the Quran, only the Quran. And then we find that a goat was stronger than Allah and was able to eat the Quran. And what the Quran ate is not only a verse, it's eating obviously chapters. Why? Because it's speaking about multi things was this appear from the Quran in the same hadith. The stoning to death, the breastfeeding for adult 10 times, and the breastfeeding for adult for 5 times. This is what is reported in this story here, as you see with me here. All right. The verse of stoning, this is the first one is mentioned. This one is gone. The goat ate it. What else? The verses of stoning to death. Sorry, the verses of breastfeeding for adult 10 times. All right. And then there is verses which is 5 times abrogating the 10 verses, the 10 times, but those are not found in the Quran today too. So we have 3 chapters or 3 locations in the Quran, they are gone. And all those are mentioned in 1 page in the hadith. Now for sure there's tons of proofs of the Quran being corrupt. Like as an example, Umar al-Khattab, he said the Quran is 1,025,000 letter, and the Quran today is not even 270,000 letter, I think, which means there's more than almost 2/3 of the Quran is gone, totally gone, and we cannot find it. Now, the books of the Shia, the Shia, they confirm clearly that the Quran is really corrupt. But that is the case the same for the Sunni too. There's tons of reference speaking of the corruption of the Quran. This is not only in the Shia books, but for the Shia, like the most things they speak about is something that's called Surah Al-Wilaya, and this one they use to prove the how important is the family of Muhammad. I wish we, today we are going to open a room, chat room later. All right, maybe in 3 hours from now. I hope we will find some Muslims who dare to come and debate us, and we can talk in more details about those issues. So there's no question that the Quran is corrupt, uh, corrupt by meaning, corrupt by order. Like as an example, even the Muslim today, they say to you that the Quran today is not the same way the Quran was sent to Muhammad when it's come to order. What does that mean? They say to you the revelation order is different from the Quran today. The first verse or chapter was given to Muhammad is the one where Muhammad been squeezed by the angel and he told him to read. But this one right now is exist in the Quran today in chapter number 96. But this is supposed to be chapter number 1. All right, it's supposed to be, but it's not. It's not there no more. And for sure, there's tons and tons of reference, but we don't want to make it complicated. Today, we wanted just to make it about when the Muslims speak about the Bible is corrupt. The Quran itself approved that the Bible never be corrupt. The Quran itself approved that the crucifixion of Jesus happened for real, as we showed you. And the Quran approved in the same time that Muhammad himself, he received satanic verses, and even Muhammad himself could not notice that those are satanic verses. If you remember, there's an old book written long time ago. I was a kid when this book is written. It's called Satanic Verses. But before we go there, I want to show you something very stupid in the Quran, where the Quran itself proved to us that the Quran deleting Quran, and Allah himself is corrupt in the Quran. How this happened? If you go to chapter 2, verse number 106. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Ibn Sarah. Ibn Sarah, you remember the story of Ibn Sarah? Ibn Sarah, he was the one who wrote the Quran for Muhammad, and one day he told Muhammad about better idea how to write a verse in the Quran. So Muhammad, he said, you know what, write it this way. So this guy, he said to himself, you know what, if Muhammad is a prophet, I am the one who said the sentence, and he said this is Quran now. So if Muhammad was inspired, I'm inspired too. And he quit Islam and he left Islam immediately. And Muhammad ordered to kill him because he was so worried he will expose him, and he did expose him. Now look with me at this verse. And remember, Muslims, this is your translation, so don't blame me for this translation. None of our revelations do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute something better or similar. I mean, do you see how stupid this Quran is? Allah is speaking about the Quran now, not about the Torah and the Gospel. Allah, he have Quran better than the Quran. Allah is going to write Quran better than the Quran. Have you ever heard something stupid more than this? The Muslim, they say to you that the Quran is preserved in our chest. Allah is saying, Allah himself will make you forget the Quran, you idiot. What are you talking about? Allah will cause the Quran to be forgotten. Muslims, I challenge you to give me a reason for Allah to make the Quran to be forgotten. Do you think, guys, there's a reason? Imagine God, he send you a book and then he make you forget the book. I mean, what is that? What for? Why he send the book and then he want you to forget the book? It doesn't make sense. It's just stupid. Secondly, Allah saying the Quran will be destroyed in two ways. Something is called abrogation, The other one is forgetting, abrogation, and forgetting. Why Allah want to abrogate the Quran? You just gave the Quran. You just gave me the Quran. Why you want to abrogate the Quran? You see, if Muhammad is abrogating a verse is exist in the Torah, and Muhammad he came 1,000 or 2,000 years after Moses or Abraham, I will say, you know, it makes sense. What was existent for that time is good for that time, and now it's time for change, because the world is changing. But now you gave me a Quran, and second day you changed the Quran, as what happened in the chapter of Al-Anfal, verse number 65 and verse number 66. Allah told them, one of you can fight 10, and they went to war, they lost. So Allah he changed it. He said, you know what, now I found that you have a weakness on you, so I'm going to enlighten your task, and one of you can fight 2. So from 1 to 10 to 1 to 2. This is abrogation, the Quran abrogating the Quran, because Muhammad he found that he is being a liar and, you know, exaggerating about how many they can fight. But what I cannot understand, how Allah he says, I will cause you to forget the Quran, and then he says he promised, but we substitute something better or similar, which it's really stupid. Why? If God is the one who wrote the first verse in the Quran, how Allah verses can be better than Allah verses? Are you guys following with me? If the writer is the same person, how he is going to write verses are better than the previous verses? What happened? Allah he found that he have a grammar mistakes and he is going to correct them. Is Allah is perfect God, or he's a human like us and make error? Like I have my books, I wrote my books, and somebody of you says, Christian, there's a mistake there in the number, the page is not right, so I correct it. I am a human. This is the one is talking here is Allah, supposedly is God. This God, he will make Quran better than the Quran. Additional to this, to make it more stupid, he said similar. Unbelievable. Imagine I make you forget the Quran and I make a similar Quran. So what the point? Why you make me forget if it's going to be the similar? You know what I mean? If it's going to be similar, so what the point? Imagine you have a car, BMW, made in the year 1980. I say to you, I'm going to burn your Quran and give you burn your car and give you a similar car. So what the point? You want to burn my BMW the model 1980, and you will give me BMW 1980? That's stupid. Are you guys getting my point? He is going to make you forget Quran and give you something similar. I will give you an idea. I will say shish kebab is better than hummus, and then I say to you, forget this sentence, I will give you something similar. And now it's time to give you the similar. Shish kebab is better than hummus. If it's going to be similar, it's mean the same. So what the point? But let me tell you what happened here. Muhammad the liar, because he could not recite the same verse twice in the same way, so he have to come with an excuse why he keep forgetting the Quran, and why he when he recite he don't say it the same way. So he made this verse. Allah is causing Muhammad to forget the Quran because you want to give him better Quran. Are you getting my point, guys? Muhammad, because he's a scam, he's a liar, he cannot say the same sentence twice correctly. So to give himself an excuse why he is not reciting them the same, he said, well, Allah, he caused me to forget, but don't worry, Allah will give me something better or similar. And yet the Muslim, they say to us the Quran is preserved. If you remember, before we spoke about Allah, he sent the Quran in 7 letters. Oh boy. Allah, he sent the Quran let us see. I will try to find the hadith about the seven letters. Allah, he sent the Quran in 7 letters. According to the hadith, the Quran is sent down to Muhammad in 7 letters for a reason. Muhammad, he requested from Jibreel to send him more Quran, which means there is 7 Quran. There is 7 Quran. And the reason for those Quran to be sent, if Allah, he sent the Quran in 1 letter, which means 1 Quran, 1 way of recitation, 1 way of saying it, his followers will not be able to comprehend. And I want people to remember this, because this is extremely important, and that will destroy all of Islam as religion. Let me show you the hadith. There's different one. I'm trying to find the other one. Let's see if I can find the other one, because the other one, it says clearly that I asked Jibreel to burden to ask Allah to burden me and to send the Quran in more letters, because my people will not comprehend. This is not the one I'm looking for, but let me see. I will try to find it. So simply, Muhammad, he keep asking Jibreel to send the Quran, and the reason that people, they will not understand. But the story happened here. When 2 guys, they were reciting the same verse in the Quran, or the same chapter, but each one of them, he recited differently. Let me show you the hadith. I'm trying to find the let's hope we will find it. This one, here we go. Read with me, please. 2 guys, they were reciting the Quran, and Umar ibn Khattab, he witnessed the 2 guys when they are reciting, but he noticed that each one of them, he recite different from what he heard before. All right, I heard Hisham ibn Hakim ibn Hizam, etc., reciting the Surah Al-Furqan in a way different from that of mine. Allah Messenger had taught it to me in different way. So who is the one who taught him the different way? Muhammad. All right. So Umar al-Khattab is witnessing for this story. All right. Anyway, so they get the guy. They took him to the two guys. They put them in the front of Muhammad, and Muhammad he said to the first one, "Okay, recite the verse for me." All right. As you see here, and this guy he was arrested. Like they took him like as if he is making a crime. So Muhammad he asked him to recite the Quran, and he recited. When he is done, Allah apostle he said, it was revealed in this way. So he agreed with the recitation. Then he asked me to recite it, and when I recited, he said it was revealed in this way. Remember, based on this, we should have now two Quran, have two recitation. And when we say two recitation, it means the words are different, not the singing. To the point the recitation was different, to the point the guy was arrested. They grab him and they brought him to Muhammad, for he is fabricating Quran. This is not the same. But now we cannot find those recitation. They are gone. And Muhammad confirmed that the first one was right and the second one was right. So what was the problem? Muhammad he said, the Quran was revealed in 7 different ways. So recite it in the way that is easier for you. Muslims, I want the easier one. Which one? Do you have the difficult one? Do you have the easier way? Where is the 7 Quran? Based on this, we should have the Quran in 7 ways right now here. Do we have 7 Qurans? Where they go? What happened? Maybe the goat ate them. And when Muhammad he asked Jibril to send the Quran in 7 letters, here we go, I found it. The Prophet was present at the pool, etc., blah 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 blah, etc. Okay, then he said, I beg Allah and his burden and forgiveness, my community has not strength to do so. To do what? He gave him the Quran, one recitation of the Quran in one harf. Harf means letter, all right? The word harf mean letter, which means recitation in one dialect, let's say. When we say dialect, it means different words. The words have different meaning. We use different words, like the people of even in the same country, sometimes they have different dialect, right? So the Quran sent the first time in one letter, one dialect. Allah, Muhammad, he said to Jibril, I beg Allah his burden and forgiveness, my community has not strength to do so, which means they cannot understand the Quran in one recitation. It's not possible. Then he came in the second time and he told him the same thing until he reached he reached the 7 harf. So Muhammad he have a reason to ask for 7 Quran. His nation will not be able to comprehend the Quran with one recitation. So Muslims, where is the 7 Quran? Any Muslim have an idea? As long Muhammad himself, he is saying to Allah that my nation cannot comprehend. That's mean You cannot comprehend the Quran today without having it in 7 ways. As you see the hadith in front of your eyes. Allah has commanded you to recite your people the Quran in one dialect. Upon this, he said, I ask from Allah burden and forgiveness. My people are not capable of doing it. So one Quran is not enough for the Muslims. This is a strong hadith. This is not a weak hadith. This is approved by all Muslims. Quran as one Quran is zero Quran. Allah sent Quran one. Muhammad is saying no, Allah doesn't work this way. Look like Allah was a stupid and Muhammad is a smarter. So he's correcting him. And he said to him, you know, Allah, don't be stupid. You know that my people cannot do that. One Quran is not enough for them to comprehend. They cannot. So you need to send me more. So Allah, he sent him the second time. And then Muhammad, he disagreed. As you see here the story. Then he came second time and said, Allah has commanded you, you should recite the Quran to your people in 2 dialects. This is the second time. Upon this, Muhammad, he said to him again, I seek burden and forgiveness from Allah. My people will not be able to do so. So this is the second time. It's not enough. Jibril came for the third time and he said, Allah commanded you to recite the Quran to your people in 3 dialects. It's a bazaar, you know, like, you know, you go in the market in those countries where you do bazaar with them about the price, and you negotiate, and then you get what you want. So Muhammad is doing bazaar with his God. Upon this, he said, which means Muhammad, I ask burden to Allah and forgiveness from Allah. My people will not be able to do it. You will not be able to do it. Who his people? This guy is just he have the people of Quraysh, a smaller tribe. They are Arab. They are all of them. They have one dialect anyway. What 7 dialect? It's a small town. And this is not about the dialect. They are, you know, here they are saying, the Muslim today, they are saying dialect. So I'm going with their statement. But the fact, there's no dialect. But because Muhammad, he's a liar, he cannot recite the same Quran twice the same way. So he gave himself the maximum opportunity, you know, 7 Quran. This is why when they come to Muhammad, they ask him to recite a verse, they say, oh, go ask Ibn Abbas. Go ask Ibn Mas'ud. Go and ask this guy and this guy. Go and ask Ibn Nafi'. Why? Because Muhammad, he is afraid if he recite it, he will make a mistake. So he asked his followers, don't ask me about the verse, go to this guy, he know it all. Muhammad himself, he do not know how to recite it again. So he come with the excuse of the 7 letters in order to cover his scam and why he cannot recite the Quran in the same way. So he keep asking Allah to send the Quran in more dialect, as you see in the front of you in the story, until Allah, he gave him the Quran in 7 dialects. And supposedly now the Muslim, they understand it. And as long Allah, he's saying that my people will not be able to do it. If it is 2, if it is 2 Quran, if it's 3 Quran, if it's 4 Quran, it's 5 Quran, it's 6 Quran, it have to be 7. So why we don't have the 7 Quran today, and how the Muslim can comprehend the Quran without having the 7 Quran? If Muhammad saying that the Muslims cannot do it with 1 Quran, I demand the 7 Quran today. Any Muslims can give us the 7 Quran? I'm not going to question no more the goat who ate the Quran. I'm not the question to Umar al-Khattab. He said the Quran was 1,025,000 letters, which means more than 80% or 75% of the Quran is gone. Forget about all of this. I want the 7 Quran. Where are they? There's nothing is called dialect. Trust me, there's nothing is called dialect. It's a lie. But because Muhammad, you see, Muhammad, he is a prophet on a tribe, small tribe. All his people, they speak the same language. You know, Muhammad was not, you know, like during his time, he was not really expanding that much. Islam expand after Muhammad death. The only one from his people who they are not from his people, it was Salman al-Farisi. He is a Persian and he learned Arabic. And Muhammad did not give Salman the Farisi, the Persian, did not give him Quran in Persian. So all of this Quran is in Arabic still. So what dialect? It doesn't make sense. And how the Muslim they are able to comprehend the Quran today with one dialect? If Muhammad is witnessing that, they cannot do that. And remember, the Arab in the time of Muhammad, they are Arab, pure Arab who speak perfect Arabic. So if the Arab in the time of Muhammad cannot understand the Quran in Arabic in the time of Muhammad, how the people who read now right now who live in Pakistan, they can comprehend the Quran in Arabic, which a language they don't understand? Allah, He is willing to give the Quran in 7 dialects for Arabic, but He is not willing to give it in 1 dialect to the Pakistani, to the Indian, to the Chinese. Are you getting my point? So obviously the whole story was a scam, and the whole story is just to fool people around and make them believe that Muhammad is a prophet, because he keeps saying things he cannot repeat twice. And the easiest way to say that God, He sent me the Quran in 7 ways. So when you see me saying something it doesn't match what I said yesterday, then I will not be exposed. And and here you notice, by the way, if you remember the hadith I showed you about the 2 guys who they are reciting the Quran in 2 different ways. There is something very important, maybe you did not notice, that those 2 guys, they never heard Muhammad saying that there is Quran sent in 7 letters, otherwise they would not fight over it. Correct? Which means Muhammad, he never mentioned this until he got to be exposed. How come Muhammad never mentioned that until they fought in front of him, that we received Quran, we heard the Quran to you from different way? And Umar ibn Khattab himself is witnessing that, which means even Umar ibn Khattab, he never heard Muhammad saying that the Quran sent in 7 letters. But when Muhammad exposed, he come with the story of the 7 letters. And maybe you notice always when you speak to a Muslim, he said to you, you cannot understand the Quran unless you speak Arabic, correct? I'm sure many of you heard it. Now I speak Arabic, and seriously, honest to God, I don't understand the Quran, because this book is a stupid book. If you go and examine the Quran, you will see stories that nobody have any ideas what those stories are talking about, and there is no connection between the verse before it and the verse after it. And in the best scenario, you will find the Quran, because it's an empty book, it's someone repeating himself like a crazy man, like a drunk guy. I will give you an example. Chapter 55. Read with me this verse. I hope it's clear for you on the screen. Do you see it? This is chapter number 13. Sorry, this is chapter 55, verse number 13. All right? But look, this is verse number 16. It's the same verse. This is verse number 18. It's the same verse. This is verse number 21. It's the same verse. Exactly the same verse. This is verse 23. It's the same verse. It's the verse number 25. It's the same verse. Do you see it? Verse number 28 is the same verse. This guy, he have nothing to say. He's just trying to fill a paper. The same verse, like, isn't enough to say it once? It has the same meaning. You continue. We're not over. Like, I wish we are over. Same verse. Same verse. Like, can we stop, please? I'm getting dizzy here. Same verse. Same verse. Should I stop, guys? Same verse. Same verse. Same verse. I mean, sorry. Hold on, hold. I just remember something. I don't want to continue with same verse. It's long. I was going to go to forever. Let's go back here. In the same chapter, chapter number 55, verse number 33. All right, forget about this one now. The same verse we are talking about. Let us read this one before it. O you assembly of the jinns and men, if it be you can pass beyond the zones of the heavens and the earth, pass ye, not without authority shall you be able to pass. If we ask the Muslim, they say Allah here is making a challenge to the genies and to the human to go out of the earth. And Allah saying nobody can do that without permission of Allah to pass. And how the pass will happen? This will happen only twice. Either to the prophets, like Muhammad when he went to the seventh heaven in the top of a flying donkey, or when people they go to heaven. That's it. But what happened? What happened, my friend, when the Soviet Union they sent the first spaceship to the sky? Allah challenging mankind to pass the zone of the earth. And the communists, they broke the nose of Allah and they went to the space without a pass. And then the American did it. And the Muslim until now they could not do it. The disbeliever, they get the pass before the Muslims get the pass. This is additional proof that Muhammad is a fabricator. Muhammad, he never imagined that people they will be able to go out of to the space. That's hard to believe, right? That's like imaginary. Unless you want to imagine Muhammad going in the top of the flying donkey. It was the first rocket to go to the space. So when he made this challenge, he exposed himself again. Anyway, I hope you guys, I hope I did cover everything about this topic. Are we, any question? Anyone he could not get anything? You can go anytime. Like some people sometimes ask me how we can find the reference you show in the videos. It's very easy. You can freeze the video, type in Google exactly like right now. What do you see in the front of your screen? Try to type 3 words of them exactly as you see them in the screen, and you will find them in Google. Are you getting my point? Any reference you see in my screen, you can find it in Google. Just type it exactly as you saw it in my screen. Freeze the screen, the video, type it in Google, and you will find it. This is always you can do when you are looking for a reference I just showed you. So I hope that's you know, you guys you have a good learning for today about this topic. And when a Muslim he says to you the Bible is corrupt, tell him you are talking about the Bible of Allah, and the Bible of Allah is corrupt. We have no problem with that. And your God Allah got screwed. He is used to it. He sent 124,000 prophets, and all their books are corrupt. So your God is a loser. It's the same as someone you give him $124,000, and then he says to you, "Hey, I saved $1." Well, you are a loser. Losing $124,000 and saving $1, that means you are a big loser. Now, today we are going to open our chat room after, just give me a break, right? Just to rest my throat. And we will have our pal talk and we will broadcast on YouTube again. Maybe in 4 hours from now. Just give me time to rest. As you see, I'm coughing already. It's not easy to speak for many hours, but I'm doing my best, uh, to share with you guys, and I hope people they are learning and they are educating others. And feel free, you can download my videos. Like people, they get upset because I deleted my videos. I get upset because I don't see you downloading my videos. I will not stay alive, my friends. I'm going to die today, tomorrow, next week, next year. We don't know. So I want you to be able to replace Christian friends. All right. I'm giving every time I can. Any moment, if you see my videos, I make videos 5 a.m. in the morning, 12 midnight. Actually, I hardly I sleep. Serious to God, I have an eye bags around my eyes because it's endless. I keep receiving emails, and Muslim they want to challenge me, and Christians are asking me, and Christians even arguing with me, and where I can find that, and I'm not really convinced, and so you have to work in every side. Same time, Christians they need to be stronger. You see, you have the best of the best. You have the Messiah. His name alone, his name is alone is amazing. Just to let you know something, in Arabic, nobody in the Middle East, nobody can call himself Al-Masih. If a Muslim, he called himself Al-Masih, the Muslims will kill him. But everybody can call his name himself Muhammad. Nobody can be called Al-Masih, for Al-Masih is a very powerful name. Al-Masih means the Messiah. So you have the Messiah. You have the Messiah on your side, and that's equal to any army in the world, and the whole world cannot be against you, cannot do anything to you. So you need to be strong, but in order to be strong, you have to arm yourself with knowledge, not with ignorance. Ignorance, my friend, is the most and big problem a human being suffer from. The Bible says, my nation destroyed because of their ignorance. So don't let ignorance destroy you. Muslims, they have a power over you if you are ignorant. Only if you are ignorant. But when you are educated, nobody can overcome. What do you have? Because you have the truth. You have the Messiah, and he is the truth, and you have the knowledge, which means your knowledge will be supported by the wisdom of God, and you will be able to answer. So let us share the knowledge, and let us spread the knowledge with others. For free you took, for free you give. I took for free. The Lord, he blessed me with knowledge, and I share it with you as I receive it. So please help me, and if any of you would like to invite me to your church, to conference, I will be so happy to do so. And again, just to remind you, I do it for free. I do it for free, which means if your church is a poor church, there's no worry. I'm willing to sleep in the couch. Just invite me. I'm not like those guys who will ask you to reserve for me 5-star hotels and rent a car for me. It's for free. If you give me a couch in the church, I will be honored to sleep in the couch in the church to serve God. We are not doing it to serve ourselves. We are doing it to serve the Lord. So help me so we can help others. And I want to say thank you for being here. please subscribe to our channel. And again, we will be in YouTube today. We'll broadcast and we will be in Pal Talk. Let us say at 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. New York time exactly. All right. So those who want to follow us in YouTube, we will make a new broadcast in 4 hours from now. And we will be in Pal Talk at the same time. Now, Pal Talk is a program you can you can download, and you can join us if you feel like if you are interested. Now we have a Facebook page. If you like, you can subscribe to our page there. Maybe this is a good way to follow up with us, because always when we open the room, I pause there and I say, guys, I'm going to open in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or the room is open right now. All right. So this is the Facebook page for those that are interested, and we have a Twitter page too. If you are on Twitter, you can follow us. All right, this is our Facebook. Now somebody saying, if you can share in the info the reference you give. My friend, as you notice, I don't prepare the reference in my head. So I search for them in front of you, and I get them in front of you. Someone else will not be able to do so. Most of those people who speak about religion, they prepare the reference, they have it in front of them, because they are copy paste. So for me, I don't have them no more. As you see, I'm just searching, and I know the reference I'm looking for. I know exactly what I want. I know how to find it. So I don't have them in front of me, so later I can pause them for you. Maybe next time, if you do it, ask me in the text for the reference before I flip the page. That will be better. I will post it for you before we change. You know what I mean? Like if there is a link you like me to post, because as you see, we are changing. We don't. I cannot open like 100 pages in my screen. This is why we keep flipping. Now this is our Twitter. For those who they are interested, let me post it for you. This is my Twitter. Okay, here we go. If you have a Twitter account, you can follow us there too, because usually when we open our broadcast, automatically our account send the link to Twitter. All right, this is our Twitter account. All right, so thank you guys for being here. Be with us at 4 o'clock exactly, 4 p.m. New York time, which means after almost 4 hours from now. I just need a break from what we did today, and we will be in Pal Talk, and we will broadcast again in YouTube. So you have one of two choices. If you cannot get to Pal Talk, you will be able to watch us in YouTube. Now in YouTube, we might not be able to broadcast right away. We wait until people they gather, and then we start broadcasting. So you have to have patience a little bit. Right when we have more people coming, we start the broadcast. So we will open Pal Talk maybe 4, and then maybe 4:30 we will have YouTube running. All right, until I see you afternoon, I say thank you very much for being here, and Christ is Lord, Islam is false. I mean to that, and see you soon again. God bless.